Chapter 45. A week after he got home, Matt was ready to just say to hell with it and walk away from everything in Denver. It wasn't that there had been problems per se, just that things never quite worked the way they should. He kept the meetings he had scheduled, and had taken on a couple of last-minute ones as well to smooth things over for canceling everything the next week. He would need time to get things set up again once he got moved. Spending his spare time packing, he had nearly everything outside his office packed. He'd started on the office, but still had some work ahead of him. The realtor had taken a few days to work out all the details of what he wanted in the way of rent and terms of the lease, but it was done. He'd call once he was gone and the house was empty, and they'd take care of things for him. He'd talked to Patsy about cleaning the place until it was rented, and asked her if she knew anyone in the market for some used furniture. She was taking the living room set. He'd wanted to give her a severance package, but she'd refused it. She said the furniture was more than enough. Matt wasn't so sure, but he didn't know how he was going to deal with it yet. It was going to be at least another 2 days before he could leave. He had appointments he couldn't get out of until then. He'd given up on sleep. After 2 nights of tossing and turning, he'd realized it was pointless. He'd been spending his nights sorting through things and packing. He'd taken 2 loads of things to Goodwill already, and he knew there would be more. He hung up after his latest meeting and checked the calendar again. He had one more conference call this afternoon, then he could call it a day and call Alex. Stretching his neck side to side, he rolled his shoulders and arched his back. He'd been on the phone for the last 3 hours, and he was a little stiff. The next call wouldn't be a quick one either. Glancing at the clock, he realized he had a little over an hour before it was time for the next call. Just enough time to get something to eat.